Bill O'Reilly here, Monday, March 1st, 2021. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening today in America. Donald Trump hammers Joe Biden, outlines his vision going forward. Democrats turn on Andrew Cuomo in New York. President Biden bombs Iranian targets in Syria. What is really going on with Lady Gaga and her stolen dogs? Also ahead, we'll analyze Mr. Trump's first speech since he departed the White House. And on that note, Mr. Trump addressing a crowd of conservative voters in Orlando, Florida. The former president using his CPAC speech to blast the Biden administration on energy, immigration, and foreign policy. Donald Trump teasing a potential run for the White House in 2024, saying, quote, "Our incredible journey is far from being over," unquote. The 45th president also focusing on election reform, demanding all votes be counted by Election Day and nothing beyond. Signature verification, proof of citizenship, and new ballot security measures to ensure a verifiable audit if discrepancies arise. More on Trump's address coming up in my message of the day. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo facing another allegation of misconduct as more Democrats call for probes into his behavior on COVID and with some women in his administration. Mr. Cuomo referring accusations to the state's Attorney General Letitia James for a formal investigation. Will Andrew Cuomo survive in office? Some say no. President Biden ordering airstrikes against Iranian-backed militias operating in Syria. The bombings were a direct retaliation for rocket attacks on U.S. troops in neighboring Iraq. The operation is Mr. Biden's first use of military force since taking office. Finally, the dog napping saga surrounding Lady Gaga seems a bit dubious. The singer's two canines were safely returned on Friday after a pair of suspects shot her dog walker in Hollywood. Those suspects still at large. The duo escaped with the pets, which then mysteriously turned up in a park a few blocks away. The LAPD is hunting for the gunman, the dog walker recovering, and the person who found the dogs is supposed to get $500,000 in reward money. However, there may be more to this story. In a moment, Donald Trump back in the speech-making saddle. Right back. This year marks 20 years since America's darkest day, September 11, 2001, and the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been supporting America's frontline heroes ever since. When a first responder or military service member doesn't come home and young children are left behind, Tunnel to Towers pays off the mortgage to lift the financial burden for the family and bring their families some stability. For catastrophically injured vets and first responders, Tunnel to Towers builds mortgage-free smart homes, enabling our most severely injured heroes to live more independent lives. Our nation's heroes, people who are willing to die for us, need your help. So please don't wait. Join Tunnel to Towers on their mission to do good and help those heroes. Please donate $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Donald Trump's first speech since leaving the White House. He spoke for an hour and a half before a crowd of 1,400 people in Orlando, as I mentioned, and he cranked that crowd up. He began with illegal immigration, telling the crowd and those watching on television that tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of migrants will cross the border illegally under Joe Biden's administration. Is that true? Most likely. Mr. Biden, as you know, has stopped the border wall, is not really enforcing immigration law as furiously as Donald Trump did, and there are caravans forming. Right after that, the former president said, well, 2024, it might happen. I might run. His quote was, I might beat them for a third time. Of course, that means that his loss was fraudulent. That's what Donald Trump believes. Then he segued into teachers' unions, keeping America's kids out of school, and Joe Biden won't do anything about it because the teachers' unions support the Democrats with millions of dollars. Then Donald Trump pivoted to the success of the vaccine, which is an absolutely legitimate story. The Trump administration, through Operation Warp Speed, delivered a vaccine in record-breaking time. That had never been done in the history of civilization. Yet, he got zero credit for it from the corrupt media, and many Americans have no blanket idea how difficult that was. That was the strongest part of Donald Trump's speech yesterday, that the vaccination success was reflective of his governance. So that was a big win. Then Donald Trump went on to blast President Biden over energy, and I think that's a very weak point for Joe Biden, but we'll have to see down the road if the Texas disaster is duplicated. Then Donald Trump got into the cancel culture, saying that we, the Republican Party, are going to cancel the cancel culture. I'm not so sure about that. Cancel culture now is brutal, and it will take a lot of discipline, lawsuits, and legislation to knock that out. Then Donald Trump got back to the 2020 election. He said it was stolen by the Democrats, and in order to prevent that again, he laid out a whole bunch of things that have to happen by Congress, and I told you about that in our first segment. Well, Congress under Joe Biden is not going to do that. Democrats don't want election reform. Now, you can make your own conclusions as to why, but the truth is the Democratic Party is perfectly happy about what happened in the 2020 election, and they're not going to change things up. They want mail-in ballots counted a week after Election Day and all of that. So all in all, I thought Donald Trump spoke too long. He gave some stats that we can't verify, like there were more ballots cast in Pennsylvania than registered voters. We don't believe that's true. But he did galvanize his support, and that's what he does. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and I approve that message by actually writing it. In a moment, something you might not know. Attention savvy investors, Bill O'Reilly here. Want predictable monthly cash flow? Is a 10% annualized immediate monthly payout good for starters? How about bonuses targeted to 21%? If you want the safety and security of a real estate investment, but without the hassles of being a landlord, you have probably heard of NRIA. NRIA is an industry-leading real estate development firm now in its 15th year, developing strategically located, low-risk, high-demand neighborhoods based on supply-demand imbalance. They are a great fit for safety-oriented investors who want cash flow and diversification into carefully chosen real estate. Learn more about NRIA Real Estate Development Fund at nria.net, or please call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at nria.net.
Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. Joe Biden has been president for nearly 6 weeks, and so far, his tenure has been very bad for business in the news industry. Some facts. CNN's coverage of Donald Trump, his 2 impeachments, the Capitol Hill riots, and the election chaos inflated its viewership by 150%. Over the past year, CNN has not done well with viewers. It had low ratings almost for more than a decade. However, it's changed back. Primetime ratings for every cable news channel have plunged following Joe Biden's inauguration. CNN dropped a staggering 44% in 1 week. MSNBC fell 20%, Fox News nearly 10%. FNC has been falling since the Capitol riot. An analysis from the Media Research Center studied 20 hours of news coverage on CNN. It found a whopping 92% of all reporting was focused on Donald Trump and his presidency. The study also showed CNN featured 69 anti-Trump panelists in less than a day, compared to 2 who favored Donald Trump, 69 to 2. The biggest drop in viewership now taking place during CNN's prime time lineup. That goes from 7 to 11. Among viewers ages 25 to 54, that's the advertising demographic, the decline at Cuomo prime time was the worst, the audience falling by more than 50%. Chris Cuomo's brother, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, now barred by CNN executives from appearing on the network because of allegations he botched the COVID nursing home situation, and now women are accusing him. So Andrew Cuomo can no longer appear on CNN. MSNBC has also lost a lot of viewers, but nothing like CNN. And here's something else you might not know. Americans' trust in corporate media at an all-time low. A recent poll says 56% of Americans believe journalists routinely report false stories or mislead their audience. And that is true. We can testify to that. Back after this. Could COVID cost you your home? Cybercrime up 75%. And the most serious of all is home title theft. Bill O'Reilly here for Home Title Lock. That's right, cyber criminals, foreign and domestic, are after our homes, and it's easier than you think. Title documents to our homes are online now. The thief finds your home's title, forges your signature on a quitclaim deed stating you sold your home to him. Then he takes out loans on your home and leaves you in debt. You wouldn't even know it happening until late payment or eviction notices arrive. Insurance doesn't cover you, neither do common identity theft programs. That's why I protect my home with Home Title Lock. The instant Home Title Lock detects someone tampering with my home's title, they shut it down. So please go to HomeTitleLock.com and register your address to see if you're already a victim. Then use code RADIO to receive 30 free days of protection. Please go to HomeTitleLock.com, HomeTitleLock.com. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.